All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is July 26th, 2023. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Akaris.
Yo, 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 it is your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. And let's hope I don't get banned.
Dude. I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot going on right now in the Instagram verse. I think it's like the feed verse. I don't know what's going on there.
I've only heard about it on Instagram, but you never know.
If they're cracking out right now, I'm pretty sure they're gonna start cracking out on the X thing. Anyways, if you guys don't know, just go to what was called Twitter in the future, in the past, whatever the case may be. Anyways, we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as everybody else. I'm doing a Regis Drago remote. I don't know why. But we are part of the Professor Network. Check us out, professornetwork.com/Purified Wonderful people to work with. If I'm going too fast today, can you slow me down? Because I don't know what the hell I'm saying anyways.
I'll do what I can.
But yeah, just check them out if you can. Please and thank you. All right. So before we begin, I do want to apologize once again that we didn't have a podcast last week. I made the executive choice to actually not have one for the reason that we technically covered all the news last week before the last podcast, so we really didn't have anything until today. Well, until this podcast, I guess.
Yeah, the day after Niantic was like, you know what? I think we'll drop some news now.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, right when I said it, it's like, oh, we're just not gonna podcast because again, we're probably going to be able to cover like 10 minutes of talking and that's it. And I didn't want to have like just that in our records. But yeah, so we do have a lot of news now. We have a lot to cover, a lot of things to really talk about. This week has been kind of insane in a lot of perspective. We had a hidden event happen. We had a makeup. We had probably one of the best egg events we have had in a long time. And probably one of the only ones that we probably go just kind of love anyways. We have from brand new introductions that were coming to Pokemon Go pretty soon. Preparing for GOFest is coming up since the month of August is almost here. We don't have the dump of news, unfortunately, so that's probably going to happen tomorrow. I mean, I'm guessing that's going to happen tomorrow because it just wants to be. I just know it. I know it will. Also, I got a 1669. Nice. Of course. During the podcast, I got a 1669.
It waited.
I know, right? But yeah, so well, before we actually get into everything like that, let's see what Chris has been up to today or this week, I guess.
Yeah. So this weekend I went to Miami to go and do Barbenheimer.
I thought you were gonna watch the Messi game in the.
No. No. But yeah, we went over there to see Barbie and Oppenheimer. Saw Oppenheimer first, and then saw Barbie. But
why Miami though?
Why Miami? Because that is where one of the best IMAX theaters are in Florida.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So we had to see Barbie and IMAX. No, I'm joking. Yeah, there's a lot of IMAX theaters in Florida, but I don't know if it was because of the timing or what was already bought up and stuff. But I do know this theater, even if there was inclement weather or something, they have two different projectors that they can switch between the IMAX and digital and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we actually did run into inclement weather, but they were really good about getting the movie back and going. But while I was out there, I was able to do the Rylu event. That was a lot of fun. I was just doing a little bit of shaking my phone to get that distance. But I was throwing those 2Ks into super incubators. Literally going into the theater at like right at 5. So I was able to hatch, whatever I could from, waiting in line almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, event went very well. A lot of fun Pokemon were spawning, even though like there wasn't too much going on.
So okay, so let's get a little bit of recap before we actually get into a holes because we do have a lot to actually go through. The recap is that of course we had Riolu, a hatch day on Saturday.
July and Squirtle. Yeah.
And of course, Squirtle Community Day makeup event. Now, if you guys don't know, during the community day, we did have some issues with the Pokemon Trainer Club account where they couldn't log in. They had some issues. They couldn't do much. It was extended throughout the whole entire community day classic recap and everything. So fortunately, that didn't pan out. And I think we didn't really even talk about our hauls from last week either. So so we had 2 weeks worth of hauls that we actually.
Oh man, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that because of that, instead of actually only giving us to certain places or certain parts of the world, they just say, "Fudge it, let's go ahead and just give it to everybody once again." Makeup day on Sunday, really last Sunday. So we actually had another chance on Squirtle, Squad, Squirrel, Shiny, and Shundo, if that was the case, of course. And then after that, again, we we'll talk about that too. Zach, don't worry. Thank you for joining us. Actually, we had, of course, I was gonna say Riolu hatch day was also pretty good. 3 hours of worth of hatching, no extra bonuses aside from I think extra Stardust from hatching, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, but of course we didn't have hatch distance or anything. But our Riolu eggs were just spawning everywhere, or at least they were getting us everywhere. Although we were still getting 5 and 10Ks, which I didn't really like about that. I got 3.
At least for me, I don't think I got anything else than the 2Ks.
Well,
at
you
least where I
hatched
was.
2 batches. I hatched almost 53 eggs.
Yeah, I saw you. You said you hatched a 48 Rylu.
Yeah, I hatched around that much, which was pretty nice. And I'll get you how many shinies and hundos did I get? And then after that, we had actually a hidden event of the Blazing New Trails, which actually coexisted with the release of the new feature that we've been talking about for probably years now, and it's called Routes or Routes. How do you say it?
I've always said root.
Routes? I don't know why both of them seem
But,
fine. But anyways.
I don't know. It's like potato. I mean, I've
yeah.
said it both ways even,
Yeah. So, again, it just made a cool feature coming out, and everybody was excited. Now everybody is excited, but not excited at the same time for a lot of different reasons. But we'll talk about the actual route event in momentarily. But that's all of those things combined happened literally last weekend. And that was before we actually even knew it was going to happen because the news dropped the day after we decided not to do the podcast. So unless we were actually going to have a podcast on a Saturday night, which Chris wasn't able to attend because he was in Miami, that wouldn't be the case regardless. So yeah, that's basically our technicality of what happened last week, 2 weeks. Aside from that, we had vanilla spawns, although they are actually pretty good vanilla spawns anyways.
Oh yeah. They've been very good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like second stage, third stage evolutions and all that, and it's been amazing. But yeah, so I guess we should probably recap 2 weeks worth of stuff. So Chris, you want to take it away with this one?
Yeah. Let's take a look together. I think it all started. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I already talked about Cubone and Yungoos before, but I did get a shiny Zangoose, which I believe I got while we were hanging out for raid day one day. And then after that, I got a Hundo Mankey, which I believe this Mankey was from a quest.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure it was.
I mean, doesn't it say on the bottom?
No.
Really?
No,
So that means
it
it was a
doesn't.
while then.
Yeah, it doesn't say for this. But can you search quest?
No, you can search at the bottom of the Pokemon snapshot. It says that on the bottom it says where you caught it and how you caught it. It says field research, special research.
Yeah, it does say caught in the wild, so I guess that does narrow it down, doesn't it?
There you go. So you got a Hondo Wild.
Yeah, I did hatch a shiny Fomantis that was from a 2K I picked up somewhere down where we do raids.
Yeah.
And I hatched it at work. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Very happy about that. And I go plussed a shiny Blitzel. The only other Blitzel I had before that was the costume one, so I was actually happy to grab that.
We didn't recap that we finally got our Gold Plus Plus actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Too. So that's
loud and bright.
Loud and bright, yeah. Chris is actually showing his. Mine is right now in sleep mode, so I'm kind of like,
You're sleeping right now.
Drowsy. Hello? Hello?
Oh my gosh. Hatched 16 Railu for the event and got 4 shiny. Very happy about that. My friends were very jealous. Of course, both of them want one, and I'm like, get your own. No, I'm joking. I'll give them one. Got 2 regular shiny Squirtle. I was in the Frost Museum in Miami. So I was able to get a good amount of stops, but not like a crazy amount of stops. But
Yeah.
I can't complain. I got a good haul
Mhm.
during the regular combat. While I was there, I hatched a shiny Staryu. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then today I got a shiny Zigzagoon Galarian again with the raid party.
Okay.
And I'll actually wait if you want to tell the story
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that last Pokemon together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll tell it because I gotta go through my Hondas too. So let's go ahead and start with the shinies for this haul. I definitely didn't get much from them, but then a Squirrel Community Day happened. Got quite a bit of them with at least 2 shiny Squirrel Squad Squirrels. I traded for a Rayquaza that was in the 98, which I hate because it is an 88 15 attack. I also hatched a shiny Magby. I think I don't remember if I actually went through that, but anyways. Did I trade this Articuno or was it caught in a raid? I guess it was a raid. Alright, I got a shiny Articuno. Also, I guess a Gold Plus, a shiny Mankey. Oh no, this was research. Oh yeah, it was research.
There's the research Mankey.
Yeah. Then I go. I actually during one of my walks because now I'm doing a 2 mile walk at least every night, so I'm ready for GoFest. I got a Hoot, shiny Hoot. That's pretty good. Also, go now. This one I remember going plusing a shiny Illumis, which has been a while since I actually got one of those. I did get a shiny Zigzagoon from Raid Hour, like electric get Raid Hour from last week, I guess. I traded for another shiny Rayquaza, which unfortunately did not go through. That will probably go to home anyways. I go plus a shiny Chansey.
What are the chances of that?
I don't know. Is it pretty boosted? I don't even remember
That's
this
a
one.
rare one. Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
a bad catch rate.
Then we go into Riolu Hatch Day. And I hatched not 1, not 2, not 3, but 7 shiny Riolus. And the best one, it's an extra large shiny Riolu.
What?
Yeah. It also has pretty good stats. It's not the Hondo. It's not closer to the Hondo either way, but it has like a 91 feel right there. I love it. I love this. A shiny XX large is probably insane. And this was actually like the day after. I had some leftover eggs that I didn't hatch, and then it hatched me. And I was like, yeah.
You didn't even hatch them all the same day?
No, I finished. So I finished
You're
all my
crazy.
ones. I finished all the ones during the hatch day, and then I had an extra batch that I was able to pick up before the event ended. So that one, technically, I incubated before anything, but it was just regular incubators. Wasn't using any supers at the end. So it was another 2 kilometers that I had to walk. By the time I finished, I was already hatching by the morning off the next week, anyways, or the next day, anyways. I also got a shiny Jungus from a research.
The research be loving you.
Well, it was during the boosted event of the Blazing Trails, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Okay.
Then I went out once again and play Squirrel Community Day Classic. Give me one more shiny Squirrel with glasses and another Hondo, which I will talk in a second. At the end of that day, I did get a shiny Shadow Geodude. So I'm happy about that one. That was a good little find. It was like on my way home or something. And then on my walk, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, I got a shiny Spritzy. I'm actually happy about this one.
Yeah, I know you've been wanting that one.
Yeah, I'm still missing the other one.
Slurp up.
Yeah, I lost it at the GoFest last time, so yeah,
It'll be back.
Eventually. Eventually. Where the hell are you at? Anyways, and then Hondos. Let's talk about Hondos because I got quite a bit to talk about. Hondo Carvana, Hondo Shackle. Chris knows about that. Hondo Raggenrola from an egg. 5k egg somehow. Yeah, I know, right? Hondo Riolu, and of course now Lucario. So that means that I was able to finally complete that. I've been wanting a Hondo like Lucario forever, and Chris can attest to this since I've been trading every single one that I've actually find. So
you got it before the Mega came out. That's all that matters.
I know, right? I got a Hondo Sableye from the Breakthrough box.
What the heck?
I know, right? Could have been the Shundo, but of course, Niantic is always like that. At the Squirrel Squad Squirrel, another hundo with these glasses, and I think that's the first one of those 2 weeks. So that's actually surprising. Oh yeah, you got the hundo. You got two hundos, right?
I got two of those costume hundos, and I was
Yeah,
like, it could have been shiny,
it could have
but
been. Anyways,
it's all good. I got the shiny 98, so I can't
yeah,
complain.
yeah, definitely. And then finally, the last hundo for this batch is something that actually happened today. We were finishing up raid hour, and it was actually a weird raid hour because we did out of pattern raids this time around. So we were finishing raid hour. We were about to head home. We all our friends in the car, Chris included, were actually just looking at some Pokemons there. Somebody noticed that there was an Oricoro there. They clicked on it, and it was a huge one. So we're like, okay, so this is huge. This is fine, you know. And then
Yeah, I wasn't gonna click on it till you said it was extra large.
I know, right? Surprisingly enough, this Oricoro was a Hundo XX large Oricoro. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but the hell with it, you know, it's gonna happen.
I will say at least it has good typing,
Yeah,
but yeah,
flying
I don't
electric.
know. Yeah, I don't know about using it in Pokemon Go, but we'll see.
That's definitely something that we were not expecting because everybody when one of our friends technically caught up with his Gold Plus, and then everybody else was trying to catch up because of Slash. I was like, I was gonna check it like right afterwards. I think I was doing something, and then
It,
my friend just
I
said,
was I was catching it in a Pokeball. I was trying to catch it in a Pokeball until he said that. I was like, dude, if this thing would have ran on me,
"I know, right? That would be like, oh man!" And just imagine once the shiny comes up, but you know, it happens all that. Yeah, thank you, Zach. We appreciate that for actually. No, we
what's
would.
up?
I wouldn't have actually clicked on the Oracle if it was an extra
Yeah,
large,
doing podcast. What's up?
and
Oh, I'll talk to you after.
you were still on. Now you're off.
I tried pushing the button. My bad.
It's okay.
I thought I left it on too.
Nah, this is
Now you guys know about my jambalaya.
this is the scuff podcast. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so it was kind of one of those moments where we just didn't think about it until we actually caught it. So it was glad that we had other people doing it. I would have run my Gold Plus, but I was actually trying to get as many Pokeballs as possible for the next event, anyways. So it's about time to restock on those, and crazy enough on days. We also had rainy weather in the last hour, so it is how it is. That was our host. That was our adventures. I did. We'll talk about actually the adventures of the routes in just a moment because that I actually had the chance to really experience them, and they suck in some ways. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You have anything else to recap here, Chris? That we should talk to everybody about?
For recap, nothing I can think of that was like wild.
Yeah, that I think that's it for that. Unless I know that we have a little bit more to talk about and technically on recap, but we gotta go over the news to make sure that everybody understands what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But of course, I know it's been a week. I know a lot of people probably already have this information. It's just that we just want to cover a little bit here and there. So let's get into today's research topics of the week or 2 weeks, week and a half. It is how it is. Hey, Laura, how you doing?
No.
So one of the things that has already happened and it's already live and going is the new feature routes, which we've been talking about for years at this point. Routes, there's a new trailer for it. I'm not gonna show it. I think it's like a minute or so long trailer, so it's you guys can watch it if you want to. But routes is out finally. You can create routes, you can walk the routes. One of the things that happened to be part of it is the release of a brand new legendary Pokemon, Zygarde. Now, Zygarde technically is the final legendary from Generation 6 that we've been missing. Basically, it's the XYZ era. But this is an interesting way to really release it. And I guess it's kind of a grind when it comes down to it.
A legendary that can't run?
Right. Now, when this went live or released, when this was announced, they did say that we're going to have a special research story that you can collect at any point to actually encounter Zygarde. And the research story is like incredibly easy. You can encounter Zygarde probably in the first 5 minutes if you know what you're doing anyways. So it doesn't really matter in that point. But the feature that comes with it is the routes feature. So routes, it's here. How do you really play routes? let's go over a little bit how it really works, I guess. So routes are sprinting up around the world. While all trainers can explore routes right now, route creation is still being rolled out. Keep an eye on the email to see when this is ready for you. So we can expect to have everybody the ability to actually walk the routes. But right now, the creation of it is still somewhat under review for just a small people out there. Most of them, the Wayfarers, which was actually good, but at the same time, it's one of those things. And yes, Lord, I do understand this feature that requires a lot of improvement. Definitely some things that we can probably talk about during the announcement of this, basically. So yeah, there's always another route. Here's how it makes. So how do we make a route? Basically, this is how it works. You set your destination to a Pokestop or a gym, and that will be your starting point. I think it starts from your profile, and you can start making it from there. And then you start recording the route and start walking. So you fill out the information of the route, you submit it for review, and things like that. So how you walk the route that you want to. Anybody can make it basically just go from one gym to the next gym, or you can even end at the same gym or stop where you started. So it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to have more than just one gym to really do the route. But it works, you know.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember if you only needed one stop or two stops, like point A to point B.
Point A and point B can be the same stop or gym.
Okay.
So that's actually pretty good. So that means, again, if you only have one specific stop or gym, then you really only have to make the route just big enough for you to actually go through. I think, so we have had this feature out for a while, for a little bit now. So we have a little bit of information more than what they already announced in here. I believe the route has to have at least 15 minutes of walking.
Really?
So to make it into a good route, or just big enough for you to actually walk around the entire neighborhood or something like that. But you have to start from one point and then end at one point in the end of the day. You hit record, you begin mapping the route, and then fill out the information of the route and submit it. And then once accepted, all the trainers can follow. So anybody can follow this kind of routes. Exploring the route. So if we actually, let me go back to the gameplay real quick. If you go to your nearby view where Pokemons are and raids, there's a new little feature that actually says routes. Now, this will actually show the amount of routes that are in your area. But if you don't have anything, it will just say no routes nearby.
That's me.
That's me too. I mean, I'm more of a rural player when I'm like at home anyway. So... but nobody's been able to really create the routes anyways. It really depends on who has the access to it and if they're able to do it at that point. But however, how it works, you just go ahead and click on the route that you want to follow. You can even do the route in reverse. So it actually, instead of having to do it all on once in one way and they have to start the same place again here and there, it will make sense to actually be able to do it for reverse if you want to actually end at one point and then begin another one and then continue from there and redo the route once again. You can redo routes. One of the things that we have now noticed is also every route is like a medal. So that means the more times you do that route, the more that medal goes up.
Huh.
So I think the first one, of course, will be bronze medal. I think silver medal is either 50 or something times that you do it. And I think once you get to platinum, it's like 200 times that you have to do the route or something like that. Again, I don't have the full specifics, but I know that that's what people have been showing online. And I'm just like, how the heck do you even have time to do one route for like every 15 minutes, mm-hmm. So you just follow it and things like that. And, it's just basically walking the route. Somebody pointed out that this basically is the same thing as, just walking in the park kind of thing. But you kind of see what other players really do when it comes to their own perspective of how they play the game. And that's kind of cool, I guess, because most of the other times you barely only interact with the other players if you're just, hanging around or doing raids or anything like that. So that's an interesting story. Any thoughts on that, Chris?
On which part of the routes?
On how a player can create a route, their own route, and other people can follow it for that reason.
Yeah, I've been thinking it's definitely a really good implementation, but the thing I think it's really good for is for people visiting. not
Sure.
necessarily the people that already live there because they kind of already know
Yeah.
how to walk around that area. But like let's say for example, you travel to an event, and I think I've said this since day one. We go to Go Tour or something, and we want to know what's the best way to walk around the park.
Yeah.
If somebody's already been there, the local that we went with, um, they'll tell you the best way to walk around, and
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I think getting to know from people that play in that area is definitely the best way to play.
And I agree. It's really how a lot of I just see it in a way that you can only see it from other players' eyes and how they actually do their own gameplay. So this is a way to really see it from their perspective. Maybe something you didn't know before, maybe a place that you would usually stay in one and specifically. Um, so yeah, that's basically some of the things when it comes down to it. And our friend here, Papercut, who is actually in the chat right now, really does have a little more information on how the routes work. But we'll go over and does that information in just a moment. So another part in the feature of the game is that you can collect Zygar cells. Now, once you complete the special research, you are able to start collecting Zygar cells from the Zygar cube that you have. If we actually go into your, if you actually completed the research already, you can actually see the Zygar cell and of course catch your Zygar 10%. Remember that. While exploring the routes, keep an eye on exploring it and come across a Zygar cell. The Zygar cells are components that make up Zygar, the order Pokemon. You can collect the Zygar cells and use Zygar cubes, use them to these cells to change Zygar's form, and then encounter Zygar in the special research story that from 8 to Zygar. This is the one thing the players are a little upset about. Because yes, it's a cool feature. We like that in the end of the day, it's kind of exploration when it comes down to this Pokemon. And it makes sense because you gotta collect Zygar cells to really do what Zygar does in the main series games, which is, be overpowered as hell.
Yeah.
Between 10%, 50% in complete form, you need to get X amount of cells to be able to go through that. Now, here's the thing. Yes, cells can appear in routes, but the spawn rate of them are impossible for anybody to find. Even the bigger YouTubers out there, even the people who has actually been covering this since the day of, barely even have 1 or 2 Zygar cells in their inventory right now because of how rare it is. It's close, almost being as close as, let's say, an unknown or a legendary actually spawning in the wild for that reason. Could also be something similar to the Galarian birds or something like that, but the Zygar cells, oh my goodness, I haven't even found one. That's how bad it is. I'm sure Chris hasn't even done a route.
Dude, I haven't even found a route yet.
Yeah.
I just heard about that one close by.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things.
One close by.
Correct. Yeah. So it's. I was able to find routes in the one that Chris has been mentioning, and I walked it 3 times for the research, and I still hasn't seen one Zygar cell the entire time. We do have the special research to complete in our research story right now. We can't even find that one to be able to actually get to it. Like, we can't get to the next step because of it. It's like it's been one of those things that it makes kind of like a good grind, but at the same time kind of annoying because everybody wants the ability to it. Now, if you go to your Zygar, if you already catch your Zygar, and let me show you here. Yes, this is my 10% Zygar. It is a 2-star, 15 attack. You need the candies, the extra large candies, to power it up, and then you need the Zygar cells. It says right here, I need 50 Zygar cells to evolve it or change the forms to 50%. And I'm like, okay, well, this is definitely going to be a grind. You need 250 to actually get to his final form.
All I can hope is that was just either a placeholder or they're going to change that in the future, maybe, where we have an event where you can get more cells. Because at least right now, Papercut is saying the max you can get per day is 3. And I know some people haven't even seen 1 per day, so that's kind of brutal if that's the case.
And it makes sense that if you want to do as many routes as you can and only encounter 3, when are you gonna encounter the third one or the second one at that point? When are you gonna encounter the first one, regardless? If you're lucky enough to even
Ooh.
find one, it's cool, but how many more routes are you gonna be able to do before you actually find the second one or the third one at that point? On one day,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, yeah, Paper also in chat is saying you can get lucky and get 3 cells to spawn at one time, and he says the cells show up about 100 feet from the end of the route, never at the beginning. So I think that is definitely a good, at least at the current time. That may change.
Yeah.
The game's always changing, but
But
if you're getting annoyed at the routes,
yeah.
keep that in mind. I
The-
do like that information. Thank you very much, Papercut.
Yes. Now, of course, some data can actually be skewed, and then, of course, the more people that actually have the ability to do the routes will give us more information in the future on how much the spawn rate really is.
Yeah, especially with how rare
Yeah,
the things seem to be for cells.
definitely. So, in the end of the day, it's just a matter of being a little more like understanding that this will actually be a grind until you actually get there. Now, I'm not in a hurry. My Zygar is horrible, and I won another one before then. Most likely, we're
Yeah,
gonna see Zygar in the
lucky trade.
right. We're either going to see Zygar as a 10% form or a 50% form in raids at some point. If they don't and keep this in this way, they're definitely gonna have to give us another chance on more Zygars in the future for that reason. So it's kind of like a win and lose situation, but in the end of the day, if you're actually dedicated enough, you'll be able to play it regardless. So what are the bonuses to really exploring the routes? This is what basically they tell us that happens. So follow a route to its end for the first time to earn a routes badge, and I can actually show you that if I go to my view, I do have my badge for the route. I also slept 9 hours and 9 minutes yesterday, so don't say about that. You also get earn a body candy more quickly. So if you're actually, let's say you either want to do a special event or something like that, where you want to need to earn a candy more quickly, you go through that. I actually didn't test it out with my legendary for some reason. I don't remember exactly the body distance change for that or the body earn candy for that. I'm not entirely sure. Another bonus is Pokemons will spawn more attracted to incense when exploring routes for the first time. I wasn't really feeling this one because I did do my daily incense every time I was doing the route. So I don't know if it's broken or maybe the incense has to be a regular incense at that point. So I'm not sure how that works in the end of that. You also get earn XP bonuses for first route you complete each day. After completing routes for 7 days, you receive an increased XP bonus. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I have noticed, I don't know if you actually noticed this, Chris, that every time I catch a Pokemon or spin a stop, it gives me a daily route bonus.
Really?
Yeah, which it pops out like very quickly, so I can barely tell what it is, and I can't even take the picture of it just yet. But I don't know. I gotta test that out when I actually get to that point. And then earn a body heart when you complete a route while exploring with your body. So if you actually go to your body right now, and I'll show you this right now, there is an option that says follow a route together.
So you can actually get even more hearts with your buddy.
Yes. And actually, it's been kind of cool because I've been getting closer and closer to Best Buddy and a few Pokemons now. That's pretty cool, anyways.
That's a good change.
Yeah. And that's pretty much about it when it comes to routes. There's really not much to say at the end of that.
Always good for them to add more as long as they're not taken away.
Yeah.
I do like this.
And just like our friend, one of our friends here in the chat said, Lord Drew, is that it still needs improvement. Some of the routes, unfortunately, have had some glitches. Even I myself have experienced some glitches when it comes down to it. It's still technically in work in progress. I believe that being rolled out like this is fine. The ability not to have everybody to do a route. I know that a lot of people are really like research hungry when it comes down to it. They want to finish the research as soon as possible. So everybody's actually been complaining, especially on Twitter, of course, or X, I guess, that they can't complete the research because nobody's making routes or haven't found a route yet. It's going to take a little bit of time. But I believe this feature can actually be very good if properly polished. I think that's the right word to it.
Yeah, I mean, I am actually grateful they're not just rolling out routes to everyone because I don't know. I'm kind of worried about the routes some people would make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, giving it to Wayfarers first seems pretty fair with all the work they put in. To make stops and everything for us.
Yeah.
So only time will tell. I just hope we'll be able to make some sooner or later. I know we don't really mess with Wayfarer, at least not on the same level that a lot of the people that do it very passionately do. I've only submitted one stuff, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it will eventually be able to. Everybody will have to really have this feature. It means making sure that you have immensely amount of routes and always follow them and things like that. I kind of like that in the end of the day. I definitely want to do my neighborhood as a route because I know there's a lot of players out there that I have never met in my neighborhood, and I know that they need those kind of things because they don't play as often as I do. My gym is always being taken at night too, so. But yeah, so that's one of the things in the end of the day. And that's how routes really work. Now, when routes was released, or at least announced and released, there was the special event that coincide with this, and everybody once again was being like, "Why how you release this event if you can't even do routes?" Whatever the case may be. Oh wow, I had a tiny ho ho appear at my house. That is
Who's
amazing.
hiding?
It's hiding. So celebrate the launch of routes with the Blaze New Trails event. We knew it was also Saru, so it is what it is. It's time to chase the horizon, experience a whole new world with Pokemon Go. Da 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 da. With the brand new event, Blaze New Trails. I mean, I'm really not going to go over so much when it comes down to this actual event because it was already over and it was only a weekend event. So we really didn't have time to really catch up to it. I completely forgot there was an event for this, just because of that reason. We know that Zygarde, the older Pokemon, is making his Pokemon Go debut. Pokemon Squall encounters will be what was things like Growlithe, Ponyta, Doduo, Lillipup, Blitzel, and Yungoos. And also, there was a increased chance of encountering Shining Yungoos. That's the reason why I got the Shiny Yungoos from the last one. But anyways. If you were an egg hatcher, 7KX had a shakeup during this event, and it will spawn things like Rockruff, Scorbet, and Phalanx. I know Scorbet probably is one that a lot of PvPers wanted, but it was such a small event, and people were more focused on the route feature that really didn't care about this. So, unless you did. No, you
I
didn't.
missed the question. Well,
What was the? Did you hatch any events X during the route Blazing Trails event, Chris?
I don't believe so. Too much. What were the event eggs?
7KX. I was Rockruff, Scorbet, and
No,
Phalanx on it.
no shot. I hate 7K eggs. For the
Yeah.
most part, I hate 7Ks. That one had one of the better pulls, I will say.
Yeah. Three
Um,
Pokemon
but
only, so.
but yeah, it's just when they get that distance added to it, it makes it kind of iffy
Right.
for me at least. I'd rather the chance at hatching a fun Pokemon from a 2K, a 5K, getting that Larvesta chance more than the 7 kilometer egg, in my opinion.
That's true. Tutors hash distance for earn body candy while exploring routes with your body, and then increase chances of encountering shiny Yungoos. For your research tags was encounter all Yungooses, and then of course you get the special research story when it comes down to it. Again, we didn't really talk about this because again it happened literally quicker than we thought about, so
Yeah.
it is how it is. And at the same time, again, I didn't really feel like that was part of the event. It was just like it felt like regular spawns at this point for me, especially in this hot event, anyways.
Yeah, they were fun. I mean, this was really the best chance to get a shiny Yungoos for people if you haven't gotten them yet. I'd say the cooler Pokemon out of those though was like Doduo and Blitzel, in my opinion. Just for shiny wise.
Yeah, I understand, and yeah, it is what it is when it comes down to it. Hey, Visual Rems with the party of three. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Hello, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for the raid, y'all. Visual Ray, thank you so much. We're talking Pokemon Go news. Sorry, I can't talk anymore. Thank you so much for helping us, y'all. Heck yeah, I love those emotes. Anyways, so let's continue on to more information. Now we do have a brand new event happening after the adventure week that's happening literally tomorrow as we speak of the recording of this podcast. We can recap real quick on that, how that event goes, but this is the new one that we're gonna be talking about because it's a brand new information. So, Glittering Garden event. Get ready to enchant the event with some Pokemons from Pokemon GoFest 2023. I don't know. I kind of messed that up. Anyways, a magical time awaits in Pokemon Go. Here's the floor lake and play some of the grass types and fairy type Pokemons appearing during the Pokemon GoFest 2023 Osaka and then 2023 London, which is happening during the weekend of this event too.
A little prequel.
I know. Will be appearing globally during the Glittering Garden event. Plus, for the first time, trainers around the world will be able to encounter shiny Piplup if you're lucky. Do remember the Piplup also has a Galarian form. So if once we ever get the chance to actually do, the evolutions itself, this will be a good chance to get a couple extra ones for those types of moments, especially if you get the Hondo anyways.
Yeah.
So this event is actually starting on Saturday, August 5th. At 10 a.m. to Tuesday, August 8th at 8 p.m. local time. So a kind of like a small event, but it looks like it's going to be during the GoFest hours in Osaka and London. Everywhere else around the world will have this event happening during the time of everybody having fun anyways.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like just a weekend event almost again.
Yeah, but again, it's mostly because of the weekend that's happening during GoFest London and Osaka. So everybody's going to be hyped about that while we get grass. So the following Pokemon will appear in the wild. Bulbasaur, Jigglypuff, Oddish, Hoppip, Seedot, Catnia, Bellatil, Ferroseed, Spritzee, Swirls, and Dedenne. If you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny of every single one of those spawns. That is cool.
Very good spawns. Very good spawns.
I'm still missing the Ferroseeds. I definitely will need the Swirlix. I think I got a Dedenne, so I'm good on that. But I do want a Honda Bellatil anyways.
Yeah, I want a shiny Dedenne, Swirlix, and Patillo from this event. For those of you that don't know, Patillo gets little blue eyes, and it looks very cute. I do like it.
Yeah, I do like that too. We're also going to be hatching some eggs from 2 Calamar eggs, for the looks of it. Badoo, Cherubi, Suaro, Bellatil, and Bouncy will be hatching from 2K eggs. And some trainers may encounter even Larvesta.
Let's hope it isn't as rare.
Well, actually,
it's probably going to be rare, though.
I completely forgot that one of my halls is actually hatching my 3rd Larvesta.
What?
I know.
Dude. Lucky trade one.
I'm already waiting for that. Where are my Larvestas? Oh. There you go. Yeah, 3 Larvestas. I started in the moment I hatched them anyways. Explore your park. So it looks like some Pokemon will be locked mostly for parks. On August 5th, Bellatil will appear more frequently in the park. August 6th, Catnia. August 7th, Oddish. And August 8th, Seedot. So they're kind of, doing this kind of format once again. But you also have to make sure that you are in the park to see more of those spawns. You can still see everything that's appearing in the wild in regular spawns. But that's one of the things when it comes down to it, So if you want to see like something like Bellatil on August 5th, which I think is a Saturday, so we're going to be walking. We're definitely going to be going to our local park for this, Chris.
Oh yeah. This is one of the good ones. What was the last event we had that was boosted in the parks? Because I do remember when we walked around. I think it was for Squirtle. There was a bunch of spawns too.
Something like that, yeah. But it wasn't for Squirrel. But it was a long time event actually.
Yeah.
The only other thing that had this similar format of days where other Pokemon were appearing.
Articuno, when the shadow raids were going on. I feel like we had some crazy spawns going on.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm saying having one Pokemon per day to the parks was mostly similar to the 7-year anniversary where each day we had a specific spawns for 24 hours or something.
Gotta go the 5th, yeah. Gotta go the 5th.
Yeah. So that's that. Then the bonuses for this event: half-size distance for earn hearts with your body. Increased chance of earning extra large candy when walking with your body Pokemon. That's pretty cool. Start walking those legendaries rather. 1.5 times candy for hatching Pokemons and 1.5 times Stardust for catching Pokemons. Interesting. I don't know why the 1.5. How do you count that? 1, 2, and then that's a half.
It's just running a star piece pretty much.
Kind of like that. I don't understand the candy wise because how do you have a candy?
That's true. Yeah, that's weird. They rounding up.
Well, I mean, you definitely don't get only one candy from hatching an egg, but you know, it's kind of like, what do you mean
That's
half?
weird.
Like
Yeah.
one and a half. I don't understand that. Then we have the following field research task. We'll encounter things like Tangela, Roselia, Pelletil, and fungus. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're looking for fungus anyway, right?
Yeah, I still need that bad boy.
And then will be a time research that will also be available at no cost. And the time research will give trainers tasks focused on exploring and hatching eggs. It does expire, just like always, but it's a free time research, so that's actually pretty cool. I guess, you know, people really don't care if it is or not at this point. How excited are you about this event, Chris?
Honestly, great spawns. We get weather boost pretty much 24/7 with grass events for Florida. So yeah, I can't complain at all.
Right.
This is really good spawn pool. Is there even a single Pokemon that can't be shiny, like other than the eggs? No.
No, and
No.
Larvesta. Pretty much it.
Yeah,
Cherubi would be
it looks
nice.
like.
Cherubi's nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think I still need that one too. So yeah, this seems pretty darn stacked.
We have had shiny Cerebi for a while. Why can't we just have shiny Cherum? Do we have shiny Cherum?
I don't believe so.
What generation is that? 4?
Yes.
So how come we have the baby form and not the real one? It's like, what the heck?
I mean, it's not a case of Roselia
Oh my
or
god.
Pikachu where they release the shiny big boy first. So
Technically,
you have to get Cherubi.
hold on. Cherubi is shiny. You can evolve it, right? So
Yes,
you are able to get the
you
shiny
can
forms
evolve
then.
Cherubi. So yeah, if you get the shiny, you can evolve it to Cherubi. It just has to be sunny, I believe.
I don't understand.
Maybe I'm
Well,
tripping.
I don't know because I haven't actually seen. Actually, now that I think about it, have we even seen a Cherum in the wild in a while?
It's been a hot minute.
Hell yeah!
Let me double check. Okay, it doesn't have to be sunny. I'm talking out my butt.
No, but Cherum is like, I got a Cherubi.
Yeah, they used to spawn all the time. But yeah, to my knowledge, Cherum can't be shiny yet. In the wild. And I don't think they're gonna change that unless they change the formula for Pokemon Go a bit more.
I don't know. It just feels like I haven't
They
seen this
hate
Pokemon in a while. Anyways.
Pokemon in the
Yeah,
wild. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, but that's the Garden event. Now, before we move on to the next piece, of course, we have to remind ourselves that Adventure Week is happening next week. One of the things that actually is happening right now because of the recording of this podcast is the event itself is happening. So people are already getting some information. The paid research story for the Adventure Week, it's just basically walk up to 5 kilometers. And you get at least 2 encounters each kilometer that you do for both Amarum and Tyrum in sequential. The event time research, though, you get things like Roggenrola, Amora, Tyrums, Diglets, Alolan Diglets, Nosepass. You get a lot of actually spawns, so that's actually pretty cool.
A lot of good ones.
But you do have the split, the split research for this. One of them is the I think the walking research, and then the other one is the catching research or something like that. I'm sorry, adventures and then sightseeing. That's what studios and sightseeing. The studios one, technically both of them actually reward you with the same thing. But one thing to know about the studios one is that you actually have to walk a little bit more than the sightseeing one.
Is one of them for getting new Pokestops though?
Let's see. Walk 1 kilometer, walk 2 kilometers, walk 3 kilometers, catch 7 different types of rock types, 4 different types of Pokemon, spin stops. No, there's no new. The one the sightseeing one is mostly with hatching eggs. The other one is actually catching more Pokemon and completing field research tasks. So the studious one is the one that actually will take you a little bit more because every field research task you do will count through whatever part of the research you are. So that's interesting. But they're both literally award the same thing, so I don't know. As far as I can see, they all award the same thing.
Yeah, as long as you're getting the same thing, it really depends on your play style, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's that, and then of course 7KX. So if you want to watch the hash those, it's as it is how it is. A brand new announcement was actually introduced today.
Okay, Niantic.
Niantic, gotta love it today, right? So you guys heard about Mega Rayquaza, right?
No, tell me about it.
Well, let's see. So this is like a big ass like snake on the sky with some whiskers that you hate.
Ew. Yeah. What if we had Rayquaza and then put streamers on them?
That's Delta. But it looks like Mega Rayquaza isn't the only thing that will be appearing in Pokemon Go Fest 2023. They recently announced that another mythical Pokemon will have his Mega Evolution actually come to go. Now, there's only one Mega Pokemon, mythical Pokemon out there, and this was the Diancie. Mega Diancie is coming to Pokemon Go, Chris. How the heck did we
I'm
actually get
so
to
happy for you.
Really? I cannot. I guess.
I will say I'm not super surprised that they're releasing it there because I was wondering how are they gonna give you Diancie and then give you the Mega Energy later. You know, I felt like it would be kind of ham-fisted for them to just give it to you later.
It's a little interesting on how they actually worded this out. Mega Diancie makes a Pokemon Go debut. It's basically a double Diancie debut. It will appear first time in Go Pokemon Go Fest in London, Osaka, and New York. Diancie Mega Evolution Mega Diancie will make its worldwide debut for ticket holders trainers during the Pokemon Go Fest 2023 Global. So yes, you will have the chance to catch it if you actually buy the ticket. How much energy they're gonna give you is the question.
So let's hope it's enough. It better be.
Now, there's also one little problem. You're only going to be able to catch one. Unless you go to two different golfers. It's a little interesting, isn't it, Chris? Now, I know I'll be going to New York. Unless Chris decides to go. I'll definitely be catching Mega Diancie. I'm pretty sure they'll still give us another one for the other GOFest. I hope that one of the researchers doesn't mean that you have to mega evolve Diancie. Because if not, I'm gonna kill a bitch if that's the case.
The only good news about that is you can get energy from walking it after you mega it, but the fact that you're basically wasting it is really bad.
It is. I hope that at least some field research stacks will actually award you with that. For some mega energies, if that's the case, I'm pretty much gonna be doing every single one I see during the GoFest, or any of the GoFest actually. It's just one of those things. It's like, remember, this is a mythical Pokemon. You only get one. You basically only be able to get one in the previous series, anyways. So it's not that easy to say. Once you get it, you'll get a hundo, and then be like, "Hey, it's time for the Mega Evolution."
I haven't gotten a hundo of any of the mythicals yet. Please let it be the Mega.
This is one that I'm going to pray to the gods of Arceus and Niantic and Pepe Hanky and everything for the hundo, because I need to complete my Mega Dex as a hundo. I need it. It's no questioning. So I have to at least get the hundo of this. I'm pretty sure they'll give us the shiny at some point in the future, but this is basically one that I'm praying that I can get a hundo in some way, shape, or form, because it's gonna be really sad if I don't. But yeah, that's how it is. Mega Diancie coming into Pokemon Go, guys. I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm terrified of what really will come when it comes down to this. Oh god, Chris is also gonna be like, I don't care, but I do want the hundo too. So.
I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to use Mega Diancie, but its typing is very cool. I do like its typing a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we're already seeing Carbon actually do some waves in the meta. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, lifting weights.
I know, right? It's like anyways. We're gonna be preparing for next month pretty soon. It's literally coming of days. Literally next month is gonna be an insane month for everybody. I feel like I'm prepared and I'm not prepared as I go along for these days. But it is how it is. Let's quickly get into our PvP section. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris. All right, GBL. We're back to GBL's Great League and the Fossil Cup, and I'm still doing my battles. I made Ace, baby.
Congratulations.
I'm happy about that. I'll keep doing battles. I don't know if I'll eventually get farther than Ace, but we'll see how it goes. I'm already going down the ladder too. So. Great League is still not my strongest suit, but it's getting there.
As long as you're having fun, that is all that matters. GBL did give Zach an extra large hundo frillish. So there are reasons to play it.
I mean, my free legendary is there for a reason. So yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing for GBL is you get a free legendary encounter sometimes. I know last season it wasn't good drop rates at all though.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's better this season.
We also want to mention, and of course, I don't know if what's your ranking right now in GBL?
It's not good. It's whatever the first thing is after getting your thing. Yeah, it's Ace right now.
So,
yeah.
Okay. So we're.
I was like, I think that's what I am, but I don't know.
That's good. But yeah, we'll get into the next cycle of. I think Fossil Cup it's ending soon. Yeah,
I do like Fossil Cup.
Fossil Cup is gonna go for another week, but Ultra League will actually come on this Thursday, so that's actually tomorrow. So that's actually pretty cool. And then we'll have Ultra League for 2 weeks with the Fossil Cup and the Little Jungle Cup. And then we'll talk about more when the weeks come around, anyways. We do want to mention a little bit about the Silt Arena Continentals and Worlds. Continentals was a couple of weeks ago, I think, and it was an amazing production from the Silt Arena tournament tournament organizers and all the backstage ones. Casters were amazing. They were casting between Latin America, North America, Europe, Asia. It was actually pretty cool to see that everybody was actually implementing Silt Arena. So Continentals, congratulations to all the winners. Worlds will be happening pretty soon for the Silt Arena, and that will be the sunset of Silt Road and Silt Arena forever, which is a little bit sad to think about it. We also have Worlds, Pokemon Go Play Pokemon Championship Worlds happening very, very soon. It's actually happening for 2 weeks from now. After GOFest Osaka and London, Worlds will be happening in Yokohama, Japan. I'm rooting for one of the co-hosts of one of the podcasts out there from the GoCast podcast, Fish and a Hitter, who is also the co-host with in the PvP section with DeFi 250. He has earned his invite, so he's going to Worlds. DeFi is also going, but as a spectator. I'm rooting for whoever. How we know there's actually a lot of people who we really want to root for. This Worlds looks like to be an insane runabout between everybody, and I'm definitely want to tune in. Although it's gonna happen in Japan, so the hours are gonna be a little bit wonky.
Yeah, it's really crazy to see, how many people we know, like the popular names get in, and then, people that you've never seen their name before, also have, the same chance of being the champion. It's really cool to see.
Also, a lot of people who are actually casting our very own Speediest Chief is a caster in Worlds, and I'm really proud of that he actually has made it this far. Man, this man is really zero to hero. Like, the hero that everybody needs. It's amazing.
Dude, he's put in so much work. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, I'm glad.
He's got the voice for it, too.
Yeah, dude.
I love it.
Yeah, can you imagine my boys in the World Championship?
I could.
Well, I mean, you've been listening for the last 3 years, so I guess. And then, of course, we do have a Side Garden, actually, which will still be having a little bit of tension on how that works. But yeah, so that pretty much covers this week worth of news. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else to cover, but I haven't seen anything that I should probably not have mentioned, which is kind of interesting. But I'm trying to see if I missed anything that I should have or not missed in the end of the day.
The only thing I'd like to mention is the Switch Masters are getting together for a little factions light in one of the other factions Discord groups, and we're going to be doing some scrims and everything, to keep the fun alive before Zygarden starts. A little tongue twister action for me.
I know, right? We also have some field research tags from the event for tomorrow. Amara and Tyram will be in most of the field research tasks. One of them being a hatch an egg, walk 2 kilometers, spin 10 Pokestop gems, and then catch 15 rock types. Those will award Tyram and Amara at correspondingly. If you want something different, like let's say Credilli or something similar to that, catch 50 rock types is for the evolution of Lilipep. Credilli, I guess, yeah. Spin 30 Pokestops and gems is for a Kabutops. Walk 7 kilometers for an Almastar. And then watch and hatch 5 eggs for a Amaldo.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are some weird ones. I'm glad they put the most popular one, like the shiny chase, and the easier ones.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely good.
So that's good. We also have to mention that the time, I think this is the the ticketed exclusive time research. It will just be walk 1 to 5 kilometers. I think we actually already mentioned that regardless. And we do have a collection challenge for the week adventure week. The rewards, those give you Tyram and Amora. And basically, it's the evolution of each one of the fossils previous to those. So, Kabutops, Ammonite, Anorette, Lilipep, Shieldon, Cranidos, Archon, and Tortuga. So you have to catch each one of those and then evolve them to their sequential evolutions afterwards. That's an interesting one. All right. So, Chris, before we end today's podcast, we do have to go over something that a lot of people are probably already been waiting for the entire time. But this is actually something that we coexist on Twitter only, on our Twitter, at Purified Podcast. I said also the X, I guess, I don't know, Twitter X, I don't know how to say maybe. But we did have a giveaway for a special code of the Professor Research, Professor Willow's special code right here. So it's time to actually name our winner. Gonna get a couple of rumbles from my co-host here.
Let me just punch my mic.
Okay, let's spin it to Willet. Good luck to all the entries. So go! All right, so congratulations to Zachary Riley 300 for winning our giveaway for the Professor Research code. We're actually going to message you on Twitter for the code redemption, and then we'll talk about if you actually want the card itself. But if not, then we'll definitely just give you the code. And you have at least until the 31st of July to redeem that, so that way you can actually put it into Pokemon Go account before this actually expires. So make sure you get to that point, please. But once again, Zachary Riley 300, thank you so much for entering our contest, and congratulations for winning the prize. But yeah, I think that's it, Chris. You have anything else to add?
Nothing I can think of. Niantic's probably going to drop some more new news right after the podcast today, as per usual.
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't think at this hour they. Well, actually, at this point, I don't even know.
Okay, maybe not right now.
It will happen like literally the day after or something like that. But once again, thank you so much for everybody for listening to the podcast and podcast services fees. You can always check us out at, if I know where to go, you can check us out on social media, myself at Pure Letter Go, Chris at Pokemon Trigger Please, that's PKMN Trigger Please with a Z at the end. That may change in the future, I don't know. PurifiedPodcast.com for anything giveaways or anything like that. PurifiedPodcast at gmail.com if you want to email us anything, any sorts of things. If you want to email us if you actually got something cool from the research or anything, that'd be up. Join our Discord. It's free. It's always on the link down below. So in any podcast services feed, if you just type !Discord in our chat, you can actually get there. And then, of course, don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. Hope everyone is looking forward to Pokemon Go Fest. I know we are. Get your space ready, get your Pokeballs ready, get out there and get catching. I actually did forget to announce I am level 50 now.
Woo! Chris with the level 50.
I just remembered.
I know, right?
It took me long enough. But I hope you guys are getting out there and grinding. And we'll catch you guys next week where hopefully we got even more crazy news for you guys. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.
Keep purifying, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow? Next time? One of the days, right?
Sooner or later.
Have a good night, guys.